another episode of Everything Entrepreneurial. In this episode, I'm speaking with Maria Cantillon Murphy. Maria set up Busy at Play to provide parents with thoughtful toys to help their children reach their full potential, all while having fun. Maria is passionate about Montessori principles and allowing her children the freedom to play in their own way and empower them to be independent at their own pace. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Cool. So thanks very much, Maria, for coming on Everything Entrepreneurial. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business, please?
Yeah, so I'm Maria. I'm 34, a mum of three, married to Eamon, and I'm from Cork. And I was on maternity leave the past year during COVID. My last son was born in April 2020, so he was a lockdown baby. And I suppose I had always been kind of entrepreneurial. I have tried so many things in the past, and I've always kind of had something on the go, even when I was working and when I was a student. My dad was an entrepreneur. He died a few years ago, but he always had his own business. So I guess you could say it was in my blood. So kind of just before Christmas, say around October, November, I just started to think like, now is the time really, because I was thinking about whether or not to go back to work. So I said, now is really the time, it's now or never. So I had this idea I'm really passionate about toys and good quality toys, and just this idea of like fewer, better toys that that children play better when they're not overwhelmed by like a room full of toys, whether, but more like that everything is kind of, that every toy is there for a specific reason. So whether it's to help them develop a specific skill or to spark their imagination or whatever it might be. So I had this idea and I just went with it, and I just said, look, there's a million reasons why I shouldn't do it in the middle of a pandemic and because things are crazy at home, but I'm just going to go for it. And it was really hard work getting it off the ground, but I suppose just took one day at a time and sourced the best quality toys I could find. I wasn't interested in filling up my website with rubbish or, anything I could find. It had to be the best quality, either toys that my kids had already for years that I knew were durable and good quality, or new ones that I found that, I knew that I'd be willing to spend the money on myself as a parent. So that's what I did. And Busy at Play was born, and yeah, that's so I literally put the website live. I did the website, I'm not techie at all, but I did the website on Wix and I put it live the 26th of November 2020, and I thought, like, this is sure there'll be no one on it, like this is not gonna, there's nothing gonna happen. And just on a whim, I sent an email to Ryan Tubridy that night, and I just explained my story just very briefly, and he gave me a big shout out the next day. And
Jeez, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and like it was so funny because I had the Wix app installed in my phone, and like when he gave me the shout out, there was all these dinging noises on the phone. I didn't even know what it was because I had never had an order before, so I didn't even know, like, how the orders were coming through or what people were ordering. It took me like a few hours to even process, to kind of like, even, how would you say, kind of figure out the app and what was going on and all that. And so it was a roller coaster. So coming up to Christmas was so busy, because I suppose then once I had customers and once they discovered that they loved the products, they kept coming back. So I had customers who had, ordered twice or three times even before Christmas. So it was just, it was a roller coaster ride. Now, obviously you can't live off a Ryan Tubridy shout out forever. So then I suppose the hard work started of, getting kind of established on social media and, getting all that kind of side of it up, and, then reordering stock that was sold out. Like, I couldn't believe that I had to reorder stock before Christmas, and I had only started the last week in November.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so look, there was a lot of luck involved in that, but I was very grateful for the shout out.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about all those different skill sets that you had to learn very quickly, you know, like reordering stock, managing your social media. Did you have any experience with that before?
Not really. Well, I did have a food blog a few years ago. So that like I did have a website. It was like just a WordPress, very basic website. So I'd never had an experience with the kind of online shop before, but I had kind of had an Instagram page now. Um, so I was into the whole already, you know, taking photos and putting them up on Instagram and that kind of thing. But I did find it a whole new experience. It's very different. So when you have a blog or something and you're essentially giving away something for free, it was very niche. It was because I actually have like I eat gluten and dairy free and refined sugar free. So there was a lot of people wanted the kind of recipes and you're giving them for free. So a lot of people want it. It's very, very different than to go and start a business where you're trying to sell, you know, because I suppose immediately people are suspicious when you're trying to sell them something. So I did find that very hard. And I still do find the Instagram a challenge and Facebook. I suppose it's not my like it wouldn't, you know, I'm not exactly one for like loving being in front of the camera or, you know, loving doing reels or videos and that is really what you need for social media. So I'm still kind of finding my bearings with that. I'm having to push myself constantly out of my comfort zone. Um what else? So I love the whole aspect of, you know, being in touch with the customers. So and I think that's what's brilliant about that's Sinead. Say hi, Sinead. My
Hello.
2 years. So I love the aspect of, you know, getting to be in touch with the customers. Like, you know, I'm not just interested in the money. I love the fact that people message me on Instagram saying, hey, my son is 1 next week. Have you any recommendations? You know, my daughter's going to be 7 next week. Have you got any idea of what I could? And like, I love the whole idea of the follow through then. And they might never buy from me, and that's fine, you know, but I love kind of giving my opinion on like, oh look, I think this is great, or you should look into this, and maybe they haven't seen, you know, maybe they've seen something different that I have that no one else has. So I love that whole kind of what I love about social media is that it starts a lot of conversations, you know, around things, and that you get to kind of showcase your products in a way that, you know, is hard to do just on the website.
Yeah.
Um,
How
so
would you see yourself transitioning to maybe in a physical way? I know it's predominantly online that
yeah,
you're doing things and social media, you're promoting yourself, but do you see any way of you maybe coming offline? So maybe like a pop-up kind of meet and greet
yeah,
or a playtime around the country, you know, and you could bring your products there as well and everyone get to experience what you're trying to do.
yeah, I suppose like the idea of a pop-up shop I would love. And I mean, obviously my business is like, I mean, I am quite surprised. I thought there would be a huge drop off. Like it's predominantly Christmas, right? So is my busy time, obviously. But I mean, there's always kids' birthdays, there's always, you know, reasons. There's at the moment there's a lot of, say, grandparents who are, you know, haven't seen their grandchildren for a long time and they want to send presents abroad, or you know, so there's always reasons to buy toys, I suppose, really. But like, definitely a pop-up shop around Christmas time, I feel would be like, you know, would you stop?
How we
Would
all
be very,
doing?
would be very successful, you know. But I suppose my life at the moment is a bit chaotic for me to even see that as a possibility this year, you know, maybe in
Yeah.
time to come, hopefully. But I suppose like I have a 1-year-old boy, a 2-year-old girl, and a 7-year-old girl. So at the moment, yeah, things are probably too chaotic to put that in motion for this year, but hopefully in the future, yeah, definitely, you know, because I suppose people are, I definitely think there's a big shop local movement. So I think that
Yeah.
people have been very kind of very happy to support Irish rather than the likes of Amazon or whatever. And, you know, and I think that works both ways. Then I try to support local as well. And, you know, you hopefully will give the local economy a boost and things like that. So I definitely think there would be a demand for it. And I feel that, you know, a lot of people like I'm blowing my own trumpet now, but when they see the products, they love them. So I suppose, you know, they're even more impressed when they get the products than even seeing them online. So I do feel that a pop-up shop, you know, allowing them to like hold the products and look at them up close would be great. So yeah, I suppose that's the dream. So
Yeah,
eventually.
definitely. So you've come through and you're seeing some success with your online store. Would you have any maybe tips or advice for someone who would be thinking of they want to set up an online store too? Would you have any tips, or did you have any challenges when you were starting up that you could maybe give someone a bit of advice?
You know, things like, oh yeah, that like people want to see real life. So everything doesn't have to be perfect for social media. Yeah, maybe the pictures on my feed, I try to have, you know, a certain quality, but the pictures on my stories or the videos, it can be that my home office is a mess because that's what people relate to. It can be that, you know, they see my kids like going crazy or something. I don't really show my kids' faces, but I might show the back of them and they're all screaming or something, you know, and that's real life. And so I think that's definitely something I've learned is that, you know, you think at the start that everything has to be perfect and you're stressed out by that. But actually, when you realize that actually what people want to see is real life and they actually want a glimpse into what it's like to be a mom of three and running a business from home, people actually respond more to that. So, as well as that, yeah. So, what advice would I give? Yeah, I mean, I think YouTube is great for kind of anything you want to, you know, it's great for Instagram tips. Like you can find anything. I would recommend probably getting some advice around the whole like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, because I think like I really thought that, like, I mean, I have a business degree, but I thought, this will be fine. I'll figure out Facebook ads, I'll figure out Instagram ads. It's actually very complex if you want them to work. So like one thing I would say I find fantastic, the Irish Small Business Network group on Facebook. I find it unbelievable. It's just like it's like having a mentor in a sense, you know, but you have like thousands of mentors that you can ask a question and someone will help you. And I've actually had a good few people who've helped me with digital marketing for free. Like they've just done it out of the goodness of their heart just to help a small business out. So I'd say definitely tap into the resources that are there like that. Yeah, what else? I suppose the other advice I would give is like, you know, I suppose test the market first, maybe with different products. Often what you think is going to sell might not sell, and vice versa. And I've definitely found that, like, just because I think something is going to sell and I feel like I want to order 200 of them, that doesn't mean it's going to sell. So I would say, like, you know, definitely test the market first. And you'll be surprised what will happen, like, especially when you work with influencers on Instagram, you know, things can just take off if you say tap into the right influencer or, you know, do the right collab or whatever. So yeah, I'd say like definitely I would say, you know, there's a lot of ways to market your store really well, but like it does require investment. And I think sometimes small businesses think that you can, you know, like I would have been naive about the whole Instagram thing. I would have thought that, you know, oh, you will get these people to free like market your stuff, but like it's not. It's very structured actually when you go to look at it. I mean, if you want someone big to promote your stuff, it's the same as, you know, paying for an ad in the local newspaper, paying for an ad in the radio. So, but it's very much, I have found it's all about getting the right person to promote your product. So like, you know, that their followers are in your niche. And yeah, that's what I've kind of learned. But look, it's just, yeah, I'm still learning every day. So
That's brilliant. That was a lot of great advice there. I appreciate that. And for anyone who would like to reach out to you or reach out to your business, where would they go to find you?
yeah, so so Busy at Play is the name of the company. I named it because I thought of, you know, like when you say like say I suppose I just love that idea that like of not interrupting your kids. They're busy at play, they're engrossed in it, you know, and this whole idea of free play, that they're kind of playing away and you don't interrupt them, you let them off. And, you know, that's just very good for them, I suppose, developmentally. And so I hope that the toys I sell kind of promote that whole idea of, you know, the child takes the lead and the child will play themselves. You know, they don't have batteries, so the child needs to figure out themselves what to do with them. So I'm Busy at Play Toys on Instagram, Busy at Play on Facebook, and the website is www.busyatplay.com. And then you can contact me through the website, or else maria@busyatplay.com, or else through Instagram. Or yeah, and I always say that I love like people getting in contact, whether it's just to say who they are, or why they maybe are following me, or that they saw my stuff somewhere, or, you know, just whatever it is. I love hearing from people. So, and I always get back to them. So yeah.
That's brilliant stuff. Well, once again, Maria, thanks a million for coming onto the podcast, and I look forward to following your journey.
Thanks a million, Curtis. Thank you.